From the 22 News Plus studio, this is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of InFocus. I'm your host, Patrick Berry. We're here in the 22 News Plus studios. If you've watched any of these episodes that have to do with music, you know I'm a huge music fan. I can't play an instrument to save my life, but I love to talk about the great music that you can find up and down the Pioneer Valley. I'm excited today to have joining me across the desk. He is the executive director of the Iron Horse and Parlor Room Collective. His name is Chris Freeman. Chris, thank you for joining me. I appreciate the time, as always, for you to come in and talk about the great things that you guys are doing up in Northampton. So thanks again for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Let's do a quick recap. The Parlor Room has been around. Well, actually, Parlor Room and Iron Horse been around for a long time, but they're now combined, right?
Right. So the Iron Horse famous club has been around. It's now in its 47th year. We're just about to hit our 47th anniversary.
Okay.
Opened in 1979 by Geordie Harold. And, you know, it's hosted legendary artists over the decades, from Tracy Chapman and Smashing Pumpkins, Wynton Marsalis, Beck, Brandi Carlile, Chappell Roan. It can go
on and on.
It can go on, past, present, future of you know, the kind of the absolute peak of what American music can be, and music from all over the world happens every night at the Iron Horse. And
it's funny, as I think about as growing up here in Western Mass as a teenager in the 80s. That was the place. The Iron Horse was the place to see not only up and coming people, but like you said, established people. Why the Iron Horse? Like, why, you think people going, well, back then you'd have access at the Springfield Civic Center, but why the Iron Horse? Why is Northampton and the Iron Horse such a draw for these people?
Well, I mean, I think these are the kinds of things that grow a gravitational pull over time, and being able to hold on to that history is part of what propels it into the future and gives it kind of that aura that it has. But it's just a special room that has grown organically over the years. It started out as a small coffee house. At the end of the 80s, it grew and doubled its capacity,
right.
And then we just when reopened it post-COVID as a nonprofit, we expanded it once again. So it's now up to 250 cap when we're fully standing, and then it can be up to 200 seated when it's all there. But it is a special place, and it's just like the artists have to walk right through the audience in order to get onto the stage. And
which, as a fan, is really kind of cool. They don't come from backstage; they walk right by you if you happen to have one of those seats.
Yeah, it's a really intimate experience that I think people recognize as special while they're there, and artists recognize that connection with the audiences is important and valuable. And Northampton has always been the kind of city that recognize that is excited by that kind of connection and that kind of arts propelling it forward as well.
So you said post-COVID, the Parlor Room and the Iron Horse came together.
Yeah.
I guess why? Why did you do that? And so now we fast forward. It's been 5+ years. So how's it going?
So so it's only been about a year and a half since the Parlor Room Collective reopened the Iron Horse with the renovation. The Parlor Room has been a venue since 2012, right on Masonic Street,
Wow.
a very small venue operating as a neighbor of the Iron Horse for many years leading up to COVID. But of course, COVID shut down both venues.
Yeah,
and so it had over 2 years that neither venue was open. But when we reopened the Parlor Room, we formed a nonprofit to kind of bring that into its new future. And we made an expanded mission to enhance the health and vitality of our community through the power of music. And meanwhile, the Iron Horse was shuttered across the street, and so our board and team that was running this small venue had to kind of make this a very bold decision of do we buy the Iron Horse, or do we let this storied venue remain shuttered? And
Right.
And it really took it took that bold decision because it was a $1.6 million renovation that
Just the
when it
renovation was
yeah
1.6.
and to reopen it um and so that's with a new bar, and we moved the bathrooms upstairs.
Finally.
We brought we doubled the amount of handicap accessible space. We put a new sound system in, a new HVAC system.
Wow.
All of this stuff were, much needed upgrades that nothing really had happened in there since the early 90s. And I think the room was feeling it, the audience was feeling it, employees were feeling it, artists, everybody. And so, but at the same time, there was this core love of what the space was, the history of the space, it being part of the fabric of downtown Northampton, and part of the history or part of the future that can help revive and maintain a really bustling downtown in Northampton.
And historically, it was a for-profit business, but now it's a nonprofit. To that point, it's to kind of keep the music alive, keep the community vibrancy, and keep the local economy, because the local, I mean, a lot of local communities thrive around the arts, and this is just one element of it.
Right. Yeah. Live music has always been, a huge part of downtown Northampton. It's a city of only 30,000 people, but with an incredibly outsized reputation in the national music scene, and just in general for touring musicians. It's really important to have a place like that that an audience is seeking out new bands, finding looking for that connection that isn't necessarily happening at the 10,000 cap or 20,000 cap venues, but these small gems that Northampton has been able to help build up is just really valuable. And so we really wanted to make sure that didn't go away, and it took a major investment in order to make sure that the Iron Horse had a future for hopefully another 50 years, which is what we're coming up on right now.
Fantastic. We're up on our first commercial break, so stay with us. We've got plenty more to talk about when it comes to the Iron Horse and the Parlor Room Collective. We're right back in just a moment.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of In Focus. Chris Freeman, the executive director of the Iron Horse and the Parlor Room Collective, is sitting across the desk from me. I'm hoping you know about the Iron Horse, because virtually everybody does. It's been around for nearly 50 years. It is the go-to spot for great music, whether it's up-and-coming artists or long-established artists in Northampton. So, Chris, thank you for coming in. Before we went to break, I wanted to clarify that historically, the Iron Horse had been a for-profit business it's been under multiple ownerships over the years, but now it's you and a group of people have decided to turn it into a nonprofit, which you've done a phenomenal job in just a short period of time. But that comes with work. It comes with money. So you are in the process of you did your $1.6 million renovation to get the doors open again, bring in the acts, but there's still more work that needs to be done. What do you want to have done to the establishment now?
So yeah, as we mentioned, it was a $1.6 million renovation that was focused on upgrades that were needed for artists, for audience, and for employees. And since then we've been able to reopen the Iron Horse with an incredible strength. We've had over 450 shows and educational workshops. We've had over 85,000 people come through the doors in just over a year and a half.
85,000 people.
85,000. It's amazing. And we've paid over $1.5 million to artists, and we offer free student memberships and memberships for everyone on Mass Health and EBT. And this was all because we were able to raise an initial $875,000 in those first months leading up to opening. So and really we just needed to make sure the space was open. The community was kind of egging us on to make sure
Right.
this place gets back open and everything. So anyway, we raised 800,000. We have $800,000 to go. And so to make sure that kind of this comeback is durable and moving into the future, and we can continue to invest in the things that build community and that make it more accessible, we need to raise another $800,000. And so we're calling this the Playing It Forward campaign for the Iron Horse, that is focused on building some reserves in case it's almost 120-year-old building.
Oh, yeah.
So in case the inevitable things
Things are bound to happen in a
things
building
go
that
wrong.
Right.
And it allows us to invest in a more diverse lineup of artists, bringing in more people who wouldn't otherwise be able to come to shows. We never take a merch cut from artists. We really are trying to make sure that
It's an artist's first venue.
exactly, and we're stewarding and by not taking a merch cut for artists, that can help us keep ticket prices a little bit lower.
Right.
So there's all these different. It's all about kind of building the ecosystem in the way that can be sustainable.
You mentioned it in passing, but I want to bring it up again. You talked about the Iron Horse creating a community. And I think back to how Northampton was 20, 30, 40 years ago. But the one thing you mentioned was 85,000 people coming through those doors in a short period of time. And when you talk about building a community, those 85,000 people, not only are they just going to a show, they're going to have a dinner, have a beer, or drink, have an ice cream. Think of all the different things that are around, within a very short walk.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the whole aspect or idea of keeping the venue going really maintains a whole economic vitality to downtown Northampton.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's and it also has allowed us to make the festivals that we love to be a part of even bigger too. So
Right.
it's happening, 200 to 300 people at a time every night. But then
And it's something every night, sometimes twice a day.
totally. Yeah, we've been doing more and more matinees on weekends as well. But we're running the Back Porch Festival as well, which is March 27th through 29th. And that's 5,000 people are going to be coming through downtown, going across the Iron Horse, Parlor Room, and 8 other venues in downtown, 60 plus bands. So, and having the Iron Horse as a part of it, as an anchor that's running this festival, helps grow festivals like that. We can be a part of First Night and Northampton Jazz Fest and all of these things that really help make live music a community driver for us. So bringing people, the community needs the Iron Horse, and the Iron Horse needs the community. It's been the first campaign had over 1,000 people donate
Wow.
to help us raise that $800,000. On this campaign, we are already at over $550,000 raised. We've been working at this since last May, and that represents only 60 people actually getting to this 550,000. So we're only $250,000 away from having a comeback that is durable. And if you go to ironhorse.org/giving, you can learn all about the different ways that we're supporting the community. And certainly financial donations are vital for this, but there's all sorts of other ways to help as well.
Just by going to a show.
Go to a show. Buy a membership. If you're a student or if you're on Mass Health or EBT, your membership is free. And so if you just come to the Iron Horse, you can sign up for your free membership. And sharing our story. So ironhorse.org/giving has a great video that shares some of this story, and getting that out there to as many people as are willing to look and see what we have going on here in downtown Northampton is invaluable to us.
Fantastic. We're up on our second commercial break. Stay with us. Plenty more to come. We're back in a moment.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello again, everyone. I'm your host, Patrick Berry, and today's In Focus, we are talking to the executive director of the Iron Horse and the Parlor Room Collective, Chris Freeman. He is sitting across the desk from me. Chris, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for
We
having me.
were getting into the fundraising campaign. It's called Playing It Forward, which I like the name of that. That's fantastic. But because the Iron Horse and the Parlor Room Collective, they're a nonprofit, you have to fundraise. Ticket sales and drink sales is all one thing, but you still need to fundraise to maintain everything. You said the building's 150 years old, or
120 years old, I think.
still, that's all.
Yeah.
What's 30 years when
Old
it's that
enough.
old, right? But yeah, I mean things need to be maintained. Do you have an active board, or and are they heavily involved with helping run and manage the facilities?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have an amazing board. That's, one of the things that's an advantage of being a nonprofit is that you get this incredible group of volunteer help. So we have a great board made up of people who have all different skills, and we also have a capital campaign committee that is
Okay.
working on this capital campaign. All their names are listed at ironhorse.org/giving, and we're very grateful to them for all volunteering their time. The Iron Horse has a gravitational pull not only for artists and for audiences, but also for kind of the community that can come around it. And once this decision was made to revive the Iron Horse, to renovate it, it's been it's really been a joy to see the community come together, and we have more applications for people joining the board
Good.
than we can handle, and we're incredibly grateful for all of our volunteers. We have also volunteers who are helping get people seated at the
Right.
shows at the Iron Horse, and collecting tickets at the Parlor Room, and selling cookies at the Parlor Room, and sometimes helping put up
Posters
sound
or run
insulation and
wires,
posters. Yeah,
whatever. That's
totally.
funny.
If you go to ironhorse.org/giving, and scroll down, there's a great video of one of our amazing volunteers, and just the show of community that volunteering has brought to the Iron Horse and to the Parlor Room, and what that does for both the volunteers who get to be a part of this community, and the way that this community benefits from their incredible work and sacrifice, to come in and make it happen. It just is like a really amazing garden to get to tend.
Northampton is a tight-knit community. So have you had positive feedback from the mayor, council, other business owners, chamber of commerce, any, like I don't know what descriptive word I'm looking for, but have you had good community support outside of audience members, like business and business community?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think, uh, the city, everybody understands that the Iron Horse is a part of the fabric of the city, and they saw what it felt like when it wasn't a sure thing that it was going to come back, and
Right.
when to see what downtown was like when the Calvin was open, Pearl Street was open, and the Iron Horse and the Parlor Room and the Academy of Music, like it's this amazing place with an amazing history that needs to be it's a fire that needs to be continuously cared for, and so I think that there's still appetite for continuing to bring back more of these venues, and to bring back our music scene, which can be an economic driver, and a certainly needed for just mental health, community, everything. It like the Northampton's a better place because the Iron Horse is open in it, and I think that it's been a joy to see the whole community come around.
It's funny, you rattled off, I think it was half a dozen different music venues in Northampton. Any town, no matter the size, Springfield would love to have half a dozen active,
Yeah.
But truly, live music and the arts, yeah, I can watch a video of a band on my phone or on my computer, but it's not the same as sitting there. And we talked about it a little bit off air. Yeah, my phone, the speakers are good on my phone,
They're amazing, actually.
but when
Yeah.
you're sitting there in an environment, and the band member is right there.
Yeah.
And the audio crew is just, they've got it dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing beats a live performance. And to be able to do that locally at a reasonable cost and supporting your economy, your local economy, is just, it's a win for everybody.
Totally. I mean, we have over 40 employees between our two venues and our nonprofit that are making it happen each night, and the it sometimes can be very difficult, running these organizations can be very hard and very taxing, but each night, I think, to be able to see the exchange of emotion and just the community that gets built there every night is so amazing. And yeah, if people are not used to, if it's not part of your weekly routine to go out and see live music, go out and be with people, especially be with strangers, people you don't know. Sitting at the Iron Horse is a tight-knit place where you might get seated with somebody that you don't know at your table. You might be standing next to somebody who you don't know, but you're going to have this shared experience there that you may not know that you're starved for it in the same way that you're starved for food or starved
Right.
for other things that you need, but we need this as humans, and it's becoming more and more important as the world changes, that we
Absolutely.
remember all of these things that are deeply human and really old within us, that that's our goal, is just to bring those back. So go see live music anywhere you can see it, at the Drake, at the Iron Horse, at Bombix, at the Shea Theater. There's places all up and down the valley.
Sumner and Springfield.
Totally, yeah.
Up and down the valley.
Absolutely.
Greenfield,
Bombix is in Northampton. Yeah.
I can't think of that one.
There's so many. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
it's funny. One of the things I say to my kids all the time is, material things are nice, but experiences, whether it's a concert, travel, or whatever it is, it goes a long way. I'm going to pull it's the link right there. The URL, ironhorse.org/giving is where you go to make a donation. Chris, I can't thank you enough for joining me again. I love hearing how great you and the board and your employees are all the great work you're doing to keep music alive in Northampton. So thank you very much for all of that. And I wish you the best of success.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you to everybody who has supported this campaign and come out and seen the show. We're just really grateful. And it feels so good to see you all out there each night. So hope to see you at the Iron Horse soon.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.